What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here. I am back again on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It is June 30th, and that means fantasy football season is right around the corner. We are going to continue diving into these individual player breakdowns. Today, we'll be talking about Tyreek Hill, but make sure to keep up with the channel for all sorts of breakdowns, mock drafts, best ball drafts. We'll have it all here on the Awesemo Fantasy Football channel ahead of the season. And of course, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and let's get into it. We have Tyreek Hill today. We'll go through his 2020 season, talk about 2021 outlook, what to do with fantasy football. And let's start where we left off last year with Tyreek Hill. A fantastic season overall by all means. 135 targets, 87 receptions, 1,276 yards, 15 scores through the air. He actually added another 2 on the ground, and 617 of those yards came after the catch. The dynamic Tyreek Hill that we have all grown to know and love. But Tyreek Hill's been doing this basically throughout his career. Again, he's in his 6th season. He's only 27, so that age cliff is by no means coming anytime soon. 5'10", 185 pounds. Tyreek Hill, even in his rookie year, he only had 593 receiving yards. He was a little bit of a project coming out of West Alabama, but he also had 900 yards on special teams. So this is a guy they've been trying to get the ball in his hands. And as he's developed as a receiver, we've really seen the emergence of Tyreek Hill. And he would have 4 straight 1,000-yard receiving yards if he didn't miss a couple of games in that 2019 season. Again, he also is very adept rushing the ball. He's had at least 13 rushing attempts in every season except that injury-limited season again. His best season overall occurred in 2018, where he put up nearly 1,500 yards, which I think is in the range of outcomes this year. Looking at Tyreek Hill's opportunity, this is a guy who has continually grown as far as opportunity with the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, he ran a route on 94% of the dropbacks. His target share jumped to 23%. Air yard share was nearly 36%, which was good for 9th in the NFL. So someone still very much used downfield. That is also reflected in his 12.9 average depth of target. Yards per route run, 2.16, very efficient. That was 12th overall in the NFL. And the red zone target share, 23%. He's involved everywhere on the field. You cannot go wrong with Tyreek Hill. As far as this upcoming season, Kansas City is undergoing a few changes. We're not expecting too much of a difference as far as pass rate, which was 5th last year. Plays per game was 8th. And points per game, 28.5. That was 6th, of course, Patrick Mahomes at the helm. They also return Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator. Andy Reid is there, of course. A lot is the same for Kansas City. This year, they have the 20th easiest schedule. Of course, they're going to play a first-place schedule in a difficult division in the AFC West, but they still project for 12.5 wins, making them the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Those differences I mentioned, they lost a lot of their offensive line. Eric Fisher, Mitchell Schwartz, Kelechi Osemele, Steven Wisniewski, just a couple names that have departed from this program. However, they addressed the offensive line. They traded a first for Orlando Brown. They signed Joe Thuney and Austin Blythe. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif returns from his opt-out in the 2020 season, making this offensive line pretty solid. They also lose Sammy Watkins, and they only replace him with 5th-round rookie Cornell Powell. What this indicates to me is that Kansas City is largely going to be a two-headed monster, at least in the receiving game, with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Both should receive at least a 20% target share, if not more, and Tyreek Hill was already on this pace last year. He averaged 11.2 targets per game in the final 10 games for Kansas City. For fantasy football, Tyreek Hill is going to be at the top of draft boards for receivers, likely competing with Davante Adams, assuming Aaron Rodgers plays, Stephon Diggs, and a few other names. The difference with Hill and some of those players, Aaron Rodgers, he obviously affects Davante Adams, but Stephon Diggs, he's the alpha dog in his own offense. But even in Kansas City, Tyreek Hill, while he has to compete with Travis Kelce, the Chiefs throw the ball at such a high rate. They're one of the most efficient offenses, and they run so many plays that this gap can be closed. And Tyreek Hill, we know his dynamic athletic ability is, if not the best in the NFL, right up there. So as far as where to select Tyreek Hill, he's firmly in your top 10. I think outside the top 4 running backs, McCaffrey, Cook, Kamara, and Henry, you can take a look at Tyreek Hill immediately. Both Hill and Kelce are very deserving of top 10 picks, if not top 8. Right now, I have Stephon Diggs narrowly ahead of Tyreek Hill, but that'll depend on format. In PPR leagues, I like Diggs a little bit more, but Tyreek Hill, no qualms with drafting him inside the top 6 picks. That'll do it for us today. Of course, I'm Matt Gajewski on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. Stick around for more fantasy football content. Of course, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to hear about a specific player, and I'll get to them. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching. We will catch you again next time.